St. Louis, Missouri. I was from a Catholic family, although we were kind of nominally Catholic. We went to Mass on Sundays. I went to Catholic grade school and later Catholic high school. But the rest of the time I was with my friends or with my girlfriend, just doing the things that I wanted to do, doing the things that the world says make you happy. And that, I guess I thought for a while I was happy. But as I got older and I got into college, that lifestyle started to increase more and more, and the things I was doing were worse and worse. And that leaves you with a feeling of great emptiness inside, and that was the feeling I had, emptiness. And I remember on Sundays, at that time I was in my early 20s, and my mom always said, "Well, you live in my house, you go to Mass on Sundays." And so I said, "Okay, Mom, I'm going to Mass," and I would drive to the bookstore and sit there and read for about 45 minutes, and I'd swing by the parish and grab a bulletin and go home, and I'm on my way to Mass. And on one of these Sundays, while I was supposed to be in Mass, I was at Barnes & Noble, and I was going to the bookstore, and somehow I came across a book on Fatima. The visionaries are given an vision of hell. I remember thinking, that's probably where I'm going. And it shook me. But it didn't shake me enough to make any real changes in my life. So the following Sunday I was there again, and I was looking for more books, and I came across a book on Medjugorje. And I read that whole book in a day. And I ended up deciding to go on a pilgrimage there. It was right after 9/11. It was a very frightening time. We had to fly through New York. So even as we landed, you could still see the smoke streaming from where the towers had been. And I remember arriving in Medjugorje, and there was this incredible sense of peace. And so coming home, I started to take my faith seriously again. I started going to Mass on Sundays and going to adoration. From all of that, the idea of vocation was born, and I started to feel strongly attracted to giving my life for God. And I started discerning, what does God want me to do with my life? So I was continuing to read, and I picked up a book on, I can't even remember the name of the book now, but it was, I think it was by Adrian House on St. Francis of Assisi. And as I was reading the book, I came across this part in the book that talked about Francis's poverty gave him a total freedom to follow Christ wherever he was called. And it was like something just smacked me right in the chest, and I was like, that's it. That's exactly what I want. That total freedom to do whatever Jesus Christ asks in any moment. And so I started to make appointments with the various Franciscan groups that were in St. Louis. I met with the Capuchins at the time, St. Crispin Friary, now downtown St. Louis. And immediately upon meeting them, there was a feeling of like being home. It was good to see all the guys wearing their habits. That was one of the things I was looking for. And I got to go out with them in their ministries, and they were doing simple things, just like going to poor people's houses and cutting their grass and taking care of their lawn, going to the shelters downtown and feeding the homeless. Things that were just hands-on things that Francis might be doing if he were living today. And praying with them, the way they prayed, the way they spent time in meditation, and the time that they spent together fraternally. It just felt like I was home. And the more and more that I went back, the more and more I was convicted this is where I'm supposed to be.